So, next question. What is Bitcoin and should you invest in it? Bitcoin is one cryptocurrency, and I think there's like 40 or 50 cryptocurrencies right now, and there's probably dozens or hundreds in development. And it's the most famous, it's the most well-known. What is a cryptocurrency? It's a currency made with technology that is not controlled by the government or Federal Reserves worldwide. In theory, I love Bitcoin. I love cryptocurrencies because it's not regulated by the government. It's essentially decentralized finance, which we'll get into and answer what exactly that is. And the more decentralized things are to me personally, the more it makes sense. Because frankly, I don't think the Federal Reserve has done a great job in the US of managing the money supply and avoiding bubbles. I think they've done a pretty horrible job of that actually in the last 100 years. As we're seeing now, when the next bubble crashes, it's going to be really bad because they have no options left. As we kind of talked about last week, debt levels are at all-time record highs for governments, corporate debt levels, student loan, credit cards, auto loans, all at record highs because in part to the Federal Reserve and their policies. Interest rates are super low, so you can't keep lowering interest rates if and when the next crash does happen. With Bitcoin, Bitcoin was created in part to take this control of the money supply out of the hands, or eventually out of the hands of governments and the Federal Reserves worldwide. So they couldn't do things like devalue dollars, inflate things, and hopefully prevent more bubbles and frankly just get more control in people's hands. Love it in theory. Actually don't mind it in practice either. I don't own any cryptocurrencies though. For the same reason I don't own gold and stock, or gold and not gold and stock. I do own stocks, gold and silver. I don't own these precious metals and cryptocurrencies because I want assets that produce cash flow. I want assets that are like stocks. I want assets that are private businesses. I want assets that are apartment buildings and other commercial real estate. I want businesses that pay me money essentially every month that I can redeploy elsewhere. Why do I want that? Because that provides enormous safety. What the downsides to me of Bitcoin, especially or specifically, are, this is another main reason I don't buy Bitcoin. It could be worth $1. It could be worth $1 million. Nobody knows what it's worth. If I can't value something and it doesn't produce cash flows, and that's why I can't value it, because I can't value something that doesn't produce cash flows, I don't own it. If you like cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and this kind of stuff, to me, I put it in kind of, again, the gold, silver category. If you own 5 to maybe 15% of these assets in your portfolio, in your overall portfolio, so 5 to 15% of your portfolio is in these assets specifically, that makes sense to me. If it's more than that, that's incredibly risky. As we've seen with Bitcoin rise from what, $10,000, $20,000 to $60,000 and then crash. I think it will keep going up in time. But again, I don't know if it's worth $1, if it's worth $20. I just don't, because I can't value it because it doesn't produce cash flows. Salvador, okay, see people commenting or liking and stuff. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Again, if you have any more comments, questions, concerns, let me know and I'll answer them on YouTube and Facebook. I don't see any right now. But those are the reasons I don't own Bitcoin. For the same reasons I don't own Ethereum, Dogecoin, any of this other stuff. Because essentially to me, they're speculations. Again, and if you want to speculate with 5, 10, 15% of your portfolio, that's fine. One thing I do tell people about these things is whatever you do invest in them, you need to be comfortable losing 100% of your money. And when I say comfortable, like it's not going to put you out, like you're not going to lose your house type of thing. The area where I see people get in a lot of trouble with this kind of stuff is, and this is throughout history, this isn't just in recent times, this has been going on forever with all the various bubbles, going back to the tulip bubble back in Netherlands, back in the 1600s, I think it was 1619, something like that. This has been going on for decades, hundreds of years. Bubbles will continue to build, crashes, and then and this is accelerating as new technologies and innovations happen. That's why I don't like Bitcoin. However, another reason I don't invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because I don't think it's going to be the most important technology that comes out of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I think that's going to be blockchain, which is what Bitcoin is hosted on.